was getting married this weekend.
Apparently, Dan made contact with Lieutenant Field.
Yeah, he's supposed to live close to here, didn't he?
I guess, and I don't know what the situation was. He sent me his email, and I sent him an email because I was his RTO, and I said, hi, I'm alive and kicking, and this is, and I haven't heard back from him. So,
I sent one to Jefferson too, and I'd left a message on his reporter and sent him an email, and
some
I
of
haven't
these,
heard it back.
yeah, I should have made the phone call because a lot of times emails just go to junk, and if they're like me, I don't look at junk.
I think there's seasons that we have. Sometimes we're not up for this. I mean, I hear from folks that it took some real gumption to come to this thing.
For me.
You know.
Well, see, I can
And
take.
if it had been, maybe a month and a half later or a month earlier, I probably wouldn't.
Well, I got sent home
That's
in like September.
a delicacy.
I spent about a year and a half at Walter Reed, and then I spent maybe a year because it crossed over into Walter Reed at graduate school. And then I got to law school. And it gets back to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost 2 years later after I left Vietnam. And we would have these law school parties, and I was the main attraction. And you know why I was the main attraction? They would lay down a bed of coals, and I could walk over them. My callus was that fucking thick. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, God, I've seen Indian Hindus do that. But my callus was so thick, I didn't feel anything. And that's 2 years later. And the callus was that thick. Yeah.
It is, but you may have it.
It was a great cook. It was a great cook.
What can you say about Mike Whiteman?
What about him?
Tell me about him, because you know him from a different perspective. I thought he was a fantastic individual, but you knew him in a different way. What do you remember about him?
Well, I want to hear what John has to say, but Mike Brightman was my best friend. My best friend in the world.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, and this is the kind of guy he was. I don't know, did you hear him how we met? He and I met? Okay. I'm still kind of an FNG, okay, and we were getting resupplied pretty often, and I had my wife send me the paper from home, Moline Dispatch, and it was one of those days where we had, I can remember sitting on the big cooler, okay, the big cooler was the size of this table, okay,
Yeah.
and we had ice that day, and we had beer soda and mail, and I'm reading the Dispatch, okay, and he just happens to come walking by, and he sees that. He says, "What are you reading there, Troop?" He didn't know me, okay? He didn't know me. I said, "Just local paper, sir." And he says, "Well, what's going on in Moline?"
Okay. Oh, well then.
I looked at him like that, and I said, "What do you know, Moline?" He said, "Well, I was born there." And my mom graduated from high school there, and I went to St. Ambrose College and across the river in Davenport. So we just hit it off, okay? And of course, we know what kind of personality the guy had. He was just like the best guy in the world, okay?
Really nice guy.
Yeah, just not only a nice guy, but he would have been the homecoming king at St. Ambrose, and he would have been not just the homecoming king, but the best football player. And he played on their last football team that they had at St. Ambrose, although they've reconstructed it now.
Yeah. He was kind of like an All-American. I mean, even his chiseled chin sort of thing.
He, you know what he did before he joined the Army?
His
He
Peace Corps.
spent a year in the Peace Corps in Pakistan.
In East Pakistan.
Yes,
In East
in
Pakistan, which is now
Yes.
Bangladesh.
Yes.
He spent a year there.
Yep.
And,
And that's so weird to go from the Peace Corps to Alpha
Army.
That's
Yeah.
just night and day.
And I know he spent time in Germany, and this is where the...
I know.
Okay, and this is one of the best things, okay, one of the best things. He spent time in Germany, and he was airborne and all this other hoo-ha. Excuse me. And then got sent to Vietnam. There was some other story in there too, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But so once we got to be friends, And then this Ricky, who was, I don't know who Ricky was, the RTO for one of you guys in the CP, got shot in the ass, but Ricky had a big ass, not like Stuart. Okay. And
why does everybody keep getting shot in the ass?
well, this kid did, and he cried and whined. It was just awful. It was awful.
If you'd have turned around, you might have got shot in the
Let me stop for a second. This gentleman was shot that way as an RTO, but there was an RTO that he got separated, he got shot in the ass, he got gassed by CS. When I found him, he was on the radio, delirious, and he was talking to his mother. He was saying, "Mom," in front of me. Maybe that's the guy you're talking about.
We got gassed several times, if you recall. We got gassed
No, that
several
was my
times.
fault. No, that was my fault.
Battalion probably was.
Well, a couple of times that that was funny.
we did.
One story about a dog that was with us and he got gassed. Okay.
Yes, and there was no mask for the dog.
No mask for the dog. Remember that. But anyway,
That
back to
was
Mike.
my fault.
Back to Mike.
That's not your fault.
So when this Ricky gets shot, then Mike asks me if I will be the RTO. And I've been in country 4 months. My tour of duty in Vietnam was 3 4-month separate sections. Okay, first 4 months is a grunt. Second 4 months is the RTO for Mike Brightman. Okay, and third 4 months was as the S2 NCO at battalion headquarters. Okay, but working for Mike, the guy was, he made me, even though I was a brand new RTO, he made me feel very comfortable. He was very patient with me. Okay, showed me, all that I needed to know. And I'm a grunt. He's artillery, so it's a little bit of a switch there.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was the kind of a guy. I'm sorry, Cotton. You both made me feel safe. And I knew I was still in danger.
Brightman was good.
Okay, well, yeah, you were good too. Okay, but you guys made us feel that even though we're in a dangerous area and dangerous things going on, we had confidence in you. Okay, and that's as good as it's going to get. When you get confidence in who you're working for, you know that they're going to make good decisions. And they're watching out for you.
And they didn't get mean about stuff, even when
No.
the shit was flying.
Yeah.
They were calm and they didn't get really angry, or even they didn't even show they were scared. Although I'm sure they must have been.
Yeah, but
One
let
time
me tell you on this.
But
I mean, I appreciate what you're saying. But what you guys need to know, and I told this to many people, every medal that I ever got, you know why I got it? It's because I fucked up and had to do something to correct my fuck up. Yes, that is true. That is true.
Stood up for your troop.
That is true.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
You
That's
definitely-
true.
I got to watch
That is
this
true.
guy, and I never saw you fuck up
Oh,
once.
no, you're wrong.
Well, then I just couldn't tell it.
You were too dumb to know. Yeah, everything. People say, well, you did this, and I was the one who caused the fuck up. It had to be corrected.
I doubt
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No.
You're
yeah.
being too modest.
The
and,
memory is
and that's
impaired
fine.
there.
Yeah.
That's the way it was.
What were y'all talking about at breakfast this morning? You were surprised that, I know Tim was right there when you.
Well, see, Tim had just gotten there.
Yeah.
Your husband. This is his first damn day.
His first day.
His first
And
day.
he had all these people killed and wounded.
Had 2 people killed. How many wounded?
About 3.
About 3 wounded.
Yeah.
And I told him I put you in for a Silver Star, and that's because you didn't lose it. Okay? You kept it under control, and I wasn't with you.
No, you weren't. No,
No,
I was all by myself.
That's
There
what I'm
wasn't.
saying. I wasn't there. I was not there, and I probably fucked up that time too.
No, there's situations you cannot control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beyond your control.
You can control every situation.
We'd all be happy.
Nobody.
And then the guys that were right there beside you when you got hurt, when you got shot. Tim was there. I think you were there, right?
Well, I'll tell you the funniest thing about that. Fred will tell you. Fred said, "So I got to you. The road's over." He looked up and he said, "Fuck me, I'll never smile again."
That was his trademark
His
statement.
catchphrase.
Trademark statement. We heard it many times.
When things would get bad, he would say that.
Who would say that?
Cotton.
Trust me, I'll never smile again.
Hardsteel 6.
Yeah, back in the old days. Back in the days of old. Y'all were good.
What were you saying though, reference about that you had heard different interpretations of
Oh yeah.
different stories about what happened the day that you were hurt?
There are at least 5 different stories of how I
He
got
was there.
shot.
I heard
the last time.
at least three
Yeah.
different
Everybody
versions
had
of
their-
what happened.
There are at
to
least 5 different stories, but it doesn't matter.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at
In the
all.
long, it's not important. The details are not important.
It doesn't matter.
41 years later,
It doesn't matter.
I can't remember
After
stuff.
this, how come you got a 110-pound bodyguard?
He was good.
Yeah, I know it.
He was good. He was really good. He was good at what he did.
Yeah, what,
Hell, I only got shot 7 times. It was good.
when we got
Boy,
back,
it was good.
when we got
Boy,
back,
it was
to,
good.
we got back to LZ Grant for do a little palace guard every once in a while.
Yeah.
There was another interpreter there, had his hooch, and he was a little chubbier guy than Sergeant Hung was.
Yeah.
But he and Sergeant Hung